What is up, fellow Age Groupies? Welcome back to another episode of the Age Groupies Podcast, part of the United WeCast Network. I'm Mike Ergo, and along with my co-host, Lindsay Hiken, we're here to talk to you about all things related to endurance sports from an amateur athlete perspective. We talk about how to have fun along the way and make this sport a little less intimidating. You all can follow along on Instagram at Age Groupies. Join the Age Groupies page on Facebook and look us up by name, Lindsay Hiken and Mike Ergo on Strava. If you guys have questions, comments, or topic ideas, feel free to email us, agegroupies@gmail.com. And, hey, do you guys like the show? Do you really? Would you be willing to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts? That would be so dope. Okay, today's guest is Nick Carling. He's my coach for triathlon, and he's been on the show before. Today we're talking about the things we can do, choices we have, and how to create our day and make it a good one. All by the positive habits that he's built up. And he's got some stuff to share, some actionable items we can take away. Fun conversation. I really like talking with Nick, as always. So, let's get to it. All right, everyone, welcome back to Age Groupies, and this is our first video episode. And with me, I got returning guest, my coach, Nick Carling. Nick, welcome back to the show.
Thanks very much for having me, Mike. It's great to be back.
Man. Yeah, so we're living in crazy times these days, and a lot of people are stuck at home and kind of wondering what to do now. Their seasons are in jeopardy, and everybody's losing their mind. Here in the United States, for some reason, apparently the antidote to this is toilet paper because everybody seems to be buying it. I'm not sure what you Aussies are doing, but that's our own brand of craziness. So anyways, welcome back, man.
It's absolutely, it's absolutely the case over here too, Mike. Don't you worry. It's the craze. No.
Yeah. So with everyone losing their mind, I think people's habits and routines are getting out of sync. And well, I mean, what should we be doing? What are the kind of things that you do every day to get yourself right, get your mind, body, and spirit right?
Yeah, cool. Oh man, there's heaps of stuff. But I think, before I touch on some of those things, Mike, there's probably just something I wanted to sort of open up with, if that's okay.
Yeah, please do, man. Take it away.
Well, you would have noticed that I'm wearing Kobe, the King, his awesome top here. And I'm kind of using it quite regularly, actually, for myself. To set my intentions and attitude for the day. So basically, I just want to read you something that Kobe said in his documentary Muse. So he reads, or he says, I went from a person who was at the top of his game, had everything coming, to a year later, having absolutely no idea where life is going, or if you are even going to be part of life as we know it. I mean, how relevant is that to where we are right now?
No kidding.
I think it's amazing. And, just reading that again and kind of hearing that again, it was so inspiring in a way. Because it is reality of where we're at right now. And I've chosen like this kind of, this line of inspiration, I guess, for myself, because, as we know, Kobe was noticed, he was known as the Black Mamba, which he obviously titled himself with. And so basically he went through a challenging period of time in his life. And he decided one day, after watching Kill Bill, that he'd create an alter ego. And that was basically to, try and shut down a lot of the stress and the stuff that he was going through in his life. So when he stepped out onto the court, he did become this Black Mamba. He was fast, he was lethal, he was aggressive on the court. And I think that's really sort of resonated with me right now, because I feel like, it's exactly the same thing. I'm feeling like I'm a snake that's going to have to shed its skin, and in terms of, the life that I had, or the life that I was living, even up to sort of a week ago or so, and going to have to drop some of those things and shed some of those things. And I guess, it's the same thing. with my business and with training and everything like that, like a black mamba, he'll strike when the opportunity arises. Even when the odds are against him, he'll attack, he'll be aggressive, and I guess because if he doesn't, he's going to die. And that's basically the same concept for me. And, with my training, with my life, and with my business, and with my team, if I just stop and give in now, and I don't make the most of any opportunities that might be there, or if I don't create opportunities even, we're all going to fall into a bit of a hole. So I guess, for me, I'm kind of inspired. I feel really motivated and inspired because I just want to be like a black mamba, and I don't want to give up. I want to keep striking and attacking and creating opportunities and trying to make the most of opportunities, and continue through this period of time on my pursuit for my goals.
Yeah, a lot to unpack there. What I really like is that instead of coming at it through an attitude of fear and scarcity, you're choosing that abundance and that proactive attitude. Because I think a lot of us, when we get stuck or when something comes up that's scary, the natural inclination for a lot of people is to retreat or withdraw, close in. And
Sure.
Situation, man, there's nothing like actually going for it and adapting to that change.
Yeah, that's right. And I think from my point of view as well, it's kind of been a little bit easier to get through it, myself, because I do have my team and I've got my athletes who, I just want to get my athletes to the finish line, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm wanting to take the pressure on. I'm wanting to throw my team on my shoulders and carry everyone through to the finish. And basically every single day, I'm just trying to inspire people, make people smile, make people laugh, and try and keep people motivated. Not just in regards to training, but people who have businesses or people who are struggling with jobs, all that type of stuff. So I feel motivated at the moment, and it's important for me to feel that way and act that way and lead. But I think the rest of the community, every person can become a leader, to whether it be just themselves or their kids or their family and friends. Everyone has the opportunity to be this type of person and be positive and be proactive. But you just need to choose those intentions and act accordingly.
There's something really cool about the idea, and I've heard about it from a few people, and I'm blanking on the book where this author talks about it, but the concept of anchoring these traits and anchoring these ways of being into like a personality you create, like Kobe did with Black Mamba. And I mean, because having that attitude, like stepping into it, like, okay, what would a person who's fearless be like? What would a person who really seizes the day, what would they be like? And then become that person.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think everyone should, really try and think outside the box and look around and read and watch and see what other people are doing and just find something that really works for them. It is a challenging time for everyone. And I know that, everyone will get through it, but we do need to combine together and work together and just look for ways to be positive and look for ways to keep, stepping one foot closer towards that finish line.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess for you, it's Kobe, and for a lot of other people, I mean, we all have our own personal, I guess, heroes we look up to and try to emulate.
Yeah.
Not everything about them, maybe, but I think with everybody who's successful, anyone who's successful, there's at least one positive trait that got them there, something that you can use to and really harness and take part of that energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you do with that? How do you get that? Like, how do you actually do that?
Well, there's certainly a number of things that I incorporate. So I guess the three real absolute key things that I do, like these are non-negotiable, every single day. Like the first thing is when I wake up, I'm setting my intentions for the day and I'm setting my attitude. And I'll touch on that in a sec as well with another list that I have. But I think that's really important. Like you wake up and you're going to decide that I'm going to have a freaking awesome day. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be productive. I'm going to motivate someone. And that's your opportunity. That's how you start the day. with that mindset. I think that's extremely important. You get up in the morning and you're stressing already, first thing in the morning, or you're just unmotivated, and you're just starting off on a real negative note, and it's really hard to climb back from that state of mind. So, as I said, I'll show you something shortly, but number one thing is, as soon as you wake up, you're setting that attitude and those intentions for the day. The second thing is obviously looking after my health and fitness. So just, every single day, just trying to improve from where I am today. And that's just eating properly, looking after mental health, and obviously trying to get some training in as well, which is important because that keeps me positive. And the third most important thing for me is to lead by example. So I have a lot of people following me, and a lot of people that look up to me, and a lot of people that I lead amongst my team. And not just my team, I've got my family and friends and things like that. And just some people that, follow me through social media channels as well. So I try to be a leader, and I try to make sure that I am a leader. So anytime I front up onto a camera or see someone in person, it's always making sure that they're going to gain some sort of inspiration off me, or I'm going to make them smile or something like that. So yeah, it's about, that leadership comes from, being positive, looking for improvement, or trying to improve people and trying to inspire people. As I said before, trying to make someone laugh. So I'm always trying to make someone laugh every day, or at least smile every day. I think that's extremely important. Yeah. I mean, that's a type of infection that, we can spread, which is a good type of infection. If you go off, if I can make you smile today, Mike, you might go off and make someone else smile, and then it'll continue just like the virus. So let's do our own infection, I guess. I think that's a really important one.
I like that.
Yeah, and then leading by example, that's about unity. So trying to unite people, trying to get people to work together, collaborating with people. So I've sort of reached out to, whether it's musicians or other personal trainers and coaches and things like that, and try to collaborate and do some things together. I think that's important as well.
Yeah, what I like about that is, you nailed it right in order too: mind, body, and spirit. You get your mind right in the morning, foundation. You take care of your body, and then you take care of the spirit. And by spirit, I usually define that as something greater than yourself. A group of people, something larger than your own personal life. And that's talk about fulfillment. Yeah, I love right away you getting your mind right, you getting that foundation, because without that, everything just goes to hell.
That's no doubt, for sure. How are you coping? Like, what are you doing out there to keep yourself in a positive mindset?
I love things like this. Not that I've ever experienced a global pandemic before, but I love novel experiences, and I love just spontaneous things. So I have developed an American Ninja Warrior course for my kids, and they're in the backyard. we have everything from a sandbag drag. I got my 6-year-old's dragging a 40-pound sandbag.
Oh man,
doing a ring toss. So we got strength, agility, we got a balance beam, we got balance, we got like jumping over hurdles, carrying bricks, and then doing a sack hop. I don't know if you've done that before, but it's like where you jump inside of a big burlap sack and you hop across the field and back, and then doing a couple inverted rows on a TRX thing and shooting a basket. So it's it's fun stuff, man. I like it.
Hey, Mike, did I ever tell you about the time I went to a popular cycling studio and it was super bizarre? I was dressed like regular scumbag trainer clothes, and everyone else had on, matching Lululemon, full face of makeup, and the instructor kept yelling, "Ladies, let's dance," which I had no idea what she was talking about. I was like,
that's so weird.
Let's dance. Are we riding? Anyway, that all happened because I was trying to maintain cycling fitness during the winter.
Yeah, winter months are tough. Days are shorter. It's cold. It's rainy. Takes a lot of extra time to gear up, and a lot of those rides are going to get canceled anyways because it's going to be too dangerous outside. Anyways, I spent a lot of my time indoors training, even during the summer months, just because I got small kids and I want to get this training done early. I also love group classes, but I spend majority of my time training alone in my garage. That can be pretty boring. So we have a way for our listeners to make that training during the off season or during the winter months or whenever you want really exciting. CycleCast app provides studio quality classes for both indoor cycling and running.
Awesome. Who needs to see a bunch of other weirdos on spin bikes anyways? We need an instructor who has an ear for music that will get us hammering those pedals and a ride plan that keeps us engaged during long trainer sessions.
Yes, I finally tried it, and it's exactly what I got from CycleCast. So they use music through your phone in this app, which works for Android. It works for iOS, so it doesn't matter what kind of phone you have. It uses minimal data, minimal battery power, and it's your phone. You bring it everywhere you go. So you got classes from different instructors at different lengths. It doesn't matter what time of day or night you're doing it. You can do it all on your own schedule.
That's awesome. Plus, the running programs are both indoor and outdoor, which is huge for me as I train for Trans Rockies this year. I'm doing a combination of treadmill and trail, and the treadmill is about as exciting as the trainer. So this is definitely helping me make those sessions more engaging. And as our gift to Age Groupies listeners, we have an awesome promo. Go to cyclecast.com/activate and enter the code GROUPIES to get a 30-day free trial on top of the regular 7-day free trial. That's like 5 weeks of free stuff, y'all. That's cyclecast.com/activate, CYCLECAST. Don't forget to use the promo code GROUPIES, GROUPIES. Cyclecast. You're going to love where this app takes you.
So yeah, I got my American Ninja Warrior course. Kids are happy. I'm looking for fun ways to exercise with them and just do something different. And I just seen like, I obviously it's easy to know the news will tell us what we can't do. And so I say, okay, given that, and I mean, part of my job is to help people figure out what are the things you spend your energy worrying about. Okay. So the weather, can't really do shit about that. I mean, the politics, can't really do too much about that. A coronavirus, can't really do much about that. But what I can do is set my mind right, take care of my body, like you said, get plenty of sleep, and then take care of my family and have fun. All those things I can do. So I'm making sure I do those things and treat people nicely, you know?
Yeah, that's it. Hey, yeah, I'm not sure what the scenes are like over there, but yeah, there's been some just horrific scenes, you know, in things like the supermarket, you know, just kids and, you know, kids who are working there and just all the staff there just getting treated just absolutely shockingly. You know, they're there every single day trying to work their butts off. They have to work twice as hard because everyone's panic buying. And, you know, they're trying their best. It's not their fault, but they're getting treated just terribly. So,
you know what I found out with those people is...
What's that? Sorry?
What I found is when I've been on the receiving end of that, even if I'm getting a lot of grief from people, sometimes it just takes one person to say something nice, like, hey, I imagine you going through a rough time. Just wanted to let you know I appreciate what you're doing. And that one like little glimmer can keep someone going for a while. So I think everyone listening to this and watching this if you can be that one person, especially when you see someone getting dumped on in the stores there, let them know. You know, some of us appreciate that, and probably everyone appreciates that. They're just scared and lost their minds. So we can
absolutely
for that infection.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got around yesterday, and I was just out at the supermarket and just saw this one lady who was working her butt off at the supermarket there, and you know, I just decided it was a good time to go get a, you know, obviously keeping social space between us. There's we got a little selfie and just said thank you. Like just that's all it takes. It just takes someone to go up, as you said, and just say thank you, and it can completely change their day. And we all have the ability and the power to do that, to change someone's day. So yeah, absolutely.
Here's the secret about that too. It makes you feel good when you do that. So it changes, like, sure. It's a superpower, man. It's nothing you're taking away from anybody, but when you do that and you add that positivity, it's you gain just as much, if not more. So in a cool way, it's like you bring both of yourselves up.
Yeah, definitely. I think what was, you know, what sort of really made it feel a bit more powerful for me was when I walked away, I kind of realized how shocked she was and how unexpected she was about it. And like, it just made me really think about it and just realize, you know, what they're going through and the lack of appreciation that obviously they must be getting. But
oh yeah, well, especially when people are like braced, like you see almost like at a defensive like stance, like ready to take that verbal punch, and you just say something like, "Hey man, I appreciate you," and they're like, "Wait, what? Is this church?"
Yeah, that's exactly how it went. Oh dear. Hey, you like spontaneous, Mike? So I thought I'd do something else as well. A little bit of a costume change. Do you mind?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, cool. So I'm just going to take this off because last week I got this little package in the mail, right?
Ah, right.
And it's probably the first time I've ever worn something that says Kona and Ironman World Championship. So I do have to say, absolutely huge thank you. Like that put, for those who are listening, Mike sent me a great little package, and it just had some things from his experience over in Kona. Had a nice little card there with a beautiful letter in there. And look, if there was ever going to be a time that I do eat some crickets, I think it's going to be in the next couple of weeks or so. So, I might have to do a video about me eating that. I might end up throwing up, but no, I'm sure they're fantastic, and I'm looking forward to trying them because you do rave quite a lot about them. I've got my Gold Star Initiative badge there, which is pretty cool. It's really awesome, and some brilliant photos here, which is Mike has sent through of his experience, and just with some notes and some memories and things. So, Mike, it absolutely made my day when I saw that. I was just, I was blown away, to be honest, and just want to say a massive thank you for the gifts, and it does absolutely mean the world to me. So thanks.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm so happy it showed up because I was worried after I sent it, and I was like, well, I hope it gets there. I mean, it's going halfway around the world, so that's so cool that you got that. And of course, you deserve every bit of it because the coaching you've given me over the last few years has just been massive. So I just wanted to make sure
let's
you knew that you
get back to let's just get back to real stuff before we start crying. So
that sounds good. That sounds good. Well, and I wanted to make sure, is like Aussie colors, green and yellow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it is too. Yeah, nice job. Well done.
So what are the kind of things? What are the kind of things that we do? Or what are the kind of things you do that are like successful, like keystone habits that other people can take and other people can do to pull themselves out of a funk?
Well, one of the things I have put up onto my wall, so it's basically as soon as I get out of bed, it's staring me in the face, and it's just this list of things that help keep me, happy and positive, and also productive. So these are a list of things that I can do from home, no matter if I'm in a lockdown period or not. I can do these things, and I know that they're going to keep me smiling. They're going to keep me positive and productive, as I said. So these things are really important to me. And one thing I did post this was I put it out to my team and told them to come up with their own list of things, which is really cool. But the problem is that most of these people, or pretty much all of these people, will have it up here. They'll know what they know what they like to do, but if it's not staring them in the face, if it's not physically right there, it's so hard to remember those things and to remember those basic things that can bring you happiness and positivity. So what I would say to anyone or everyone listening and watching is, if you're going to come up with a list, firstly come up with a list because it's bloody awesome. It's very, very powerful. But if you're gonna come up with a list of things, make sure you write it down and it's physically there where you can see it, because it's so much more powerful that way. It can just bring you back to basics and get you. You can just wake up in the morning, or you could go through half the day if you're feeling a bit flat or whatever, and just say, all right, well, I know that this gets me into a good mood, so I'm just going to go and listen to some music, or I'm just going to do a quick training session, or I'm just going to go hit the drum set, or strum the guitar or something, anything like that. If it's physically there, you have this beautiful list of simple things that you could do straight away for 5 minutes, and bang, you're into a happy and a positive mindset. So I deeply and definitely encourage people to do that. To give you an idea of some of the things that I might do, so there's obviously training is really important for my mental and physical health. I just love music. There's probably only two great genres, and that's 70s rock and 90s rock.
Yes, yes.
Each to their own on that. Although I don't mind a bit of Katy Perry every now and then, but I can rock out to anything. Cooking a healthy breakfast. I mean, kicking off the day with a healthy breakfast, like it's so underestimated. It's talked about quite a lot, obviously, and but it is a very powerful thing to do. You know, you take the time, the 10 to 15 minutes, put the effort in, put that energy in, sit down, enjoy a nice healthy breakfast, and it makes you feel so good. Or it makes me feel good anyway.
What are you liking for a healthy breakfast? I mean, for me, like it's hard to get better than a soft boiled egg. For me, that just hits the spot.
Oh, wow. You have not lived. I don't know how you guys cope over there.
I'm a simple man sometimes.
I have basically exactly the same thing, but I create different variations of it. And it's basically avocado, eggs. If I've trained that morning, I might throw in a little bit of toast as well, and maybe some mushrooms or something. But it's usually different versions of that, whether it's a scrambled egg or a poached egg and smashed avo or just sliced avo, whatever. I just whatever I feel like on the day, but they're usually the key things that I'll have. Yeah, and some of the other things, you know, I love playing music. I cannot play the guitar, I cannot play the keyboard, but they're there, and I can muck around on them if I want to, and just
yeah.
stuff around. I've got a drum
we all
kit
know you
there.
can play the xylophone.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at the xylophone. Lucky it's only a kid's one. But I've got a drum kit there. I love getting on that and just putting on some music and just trying to learn how to play what the bands are playing. That keeps me entertained for ages, and it does put a smile on my face. And then entertaining others, you know, creating laughter, creating funny videos and things, or just I guess most of the time I'm the only one who probably finds them funny, but at least that entertains me during that period of time. But trying to do stupid things, put smiles on faces, you know, educating people. So educating people about, you know, whether it's triathlon or running or health-being and things like that. Then my team as well, I do something that's interactive with them, whether it's a live video or try to get them sort of interacting with everyone else. But they're probably the key things, and you know, I'll do majority of those probably every single day, and that really helps me.
Yeah, I like that. I like that variety too. I mean, even if I think one thing that I'm taking away from that for sure is that even if it's something you're not a master at, if you do it and it's fun, it takes just something that's fun just for the sake of having fun is so vital, so important. And I could go on for hours about the science behind that, but just let's take my word for it right here. If you listen to anything I say, yeah, do something that's fun just for fun.
Absolutely. I'm the biggest kid at heart, honestly. Honestly, if I had car toys, I'd be playing with car toys, I reckon, and racing each other on the floor. But unfortunately, I gave those away when I was a kid.
All right, so those are some good habits. Those are I like. There's variety. It's not all about just training hard. I think a lot of the motivational videos or figures that I see talking about, you know, just grinding, just wearing yourself down, beating yourself down, and keeping on going, and that is something that I don't know. I don't think it's sustainable in the long term. It's something where you can flame out and fade away pretty quickly. But what I like about this is it's something you can do every day and get incrementally better, which everything I understand about long-term change is that's how you do it. You do it incrementally. Sometimes you make some big switches, but it's not an all or nothing, you know, black or white, on or off kind of attitude that really gets it done.
No, exactly. And I think, like touching on that, Mike, probably one of the most important things to be able to do these things for whatever period that we are going to be in this kind of situation. You know, these might be great now, but at some stage they might get a little bit boring or dull, especially if I'm not working towards anything, if I'm not trying to really achieve anything, I'm just doing them just for fun. That'll only last so long. So what I think is also really important is trying to come up with some goals that you can achieve during this period of time for each one of those aspects. And I've got them here. Like, there's a bunch of things that I will do. And
the way that I try and keep motivated and focused, all the way through this period of time, which who knows when it is, with the training, my training, the goal will be, hit 30 days in a row of doing something and training smart, obviously. So there is that measurable goal. I can tick that in 30 days time. I can, every day I can be working towards that number 30. And then when I get to that 30, then I can tick that off, and that's a goal that I would have achieved in regards to training. Because you might not be able to go out there and do a race, so you've got to find other ways of looking for goals and keeping focused and keeping that training targeted as well. If it's a musical instrument, one of the things that I'm aiming to do by the end of this lockdown period is create my own song, and that might only be a couple of verses or something like that, and it might just be instrumental, but it's going to be basically coming up with a tune on the guitar, trying to combine that with something on the keyboard, and then throwing a beat with it with the drums. So that's something that I've created a goal with. So it's not just me, each day waking up and trying to muck around with the guitar or just getting on the drums and playing some music. Like, I'm actually going to try and be creative and push my boundaries and try and achieve something by doing that. Learn a new language. I did start trying to learn German last year. That's probably something that I'll have to go back to. And basically, if I want to set a goal amongst that, that would be to have a full introductory conversation with someone. So that, hi, my name is such and such, and how are you, and blah, blah, blah. So I want to be able to achieve that. So again, that's another goal for me to achieve by the end of the period. You could learn a new recipe if it's cooking. If you enjoy cooking or baking, you can go out and find a new recipe every single week and make something brand new that you've never made before. That could be a goal for you to learn how to cook better or learn how to cook something new. Dog training is another one. I want to be able to teach my dogs a new trick by the end of this. I want to be able to do squiggly things when I make my latte.
Yes, the latte art.
Yeah.
What are you going for? There's the heart, there's the flower. Like there's got to be other stuff, but those are the two most common ones. What are you gonna make?
Look, I've tried to make a lot of things, Mike, but most of them just end up as a blob. So
see, that's where you get creative and just make up something like yeah, the avant-garde coffee art.
Yeah, but I mean, like how there's probably a lot of people that have a coffee machine at home these days, and without the ability to go to the cafe, coming up shortly, there's plenty of video tutorials online about how to make latte art. So I'll probably choose I'm not actually sure what it's actually called, but the squiggly thing that they do with I think they pour it in, they get this cool little pattern.
Oh yeah.
I want to be able to achieve that. So at the moment I could half do a love heart. But my goal is to be able to do the squiggly thingy, latte art. I want to read a new book. So I've got a few self-improvement books which I haven't been able to get through yet or even start. So I'm really keen to do one of those. And I think one of those is about communication. So as a leader, it's really important to be able to communicate well, not only, these types of situations, but when you're leading a group. So that's a book I'd really like to finish or start and finish by the end of this lockdown period. And the last one, I don't want to go on forever. So the last one for me is going to be based on my business and my coaching. So by the end of this lockdown period, I want to have 3 new business ideas and 3 new coaching ideas that I'll implement post-apocalypse.
I love that. And what I love about this too is I'm feeling inspired to set all kinds of goals and see what else I can do with that. And that's the cool kind of infectious nature about somebody who's forward thinking and excited about life. And that's why these conversations are so fun, because you have ideas. It's not, oh, I can't do anything. It's okay, this way is not working right now, so we're going to go this way and this way, and just adjusting. That's really cool. And good, I'm glad you're learning German, because next podcast, wir werden total auf Deutsch sprechen.
Oh,
we'll speak it all in German. We'll put it to the test and see if you can do it.
All right, that's a good goal. I like it. That's accountability right there.
Oh yeah, shit. Now I got to brush up on my German too. Well, cool.
Dear. Oh, that sounds amazing. One of the ideas I came up with, this is a couple of weeks ago now, and I just introduced it yesterday, and it's just a Facebook group that I came up with. Bit harder for, I guess, like people overseas with different time zones and stuff, but I figured, with everything changing, eventually at some stage it was going to always be the case that we'd have to stop our group training here in Cairns in Australia. So I had to be forward thinking about that, and I had to think about, what's everyone else going to be doing and what can I do that's going to be different? So, I thought about what other people will be doing, whether it's coaches and PTs and stuff. And, the typical thing for them is to go bang online, do your PTs and your boot camps and your online coaching and stuff. And that's cool. And obviously I'll continue to do that, but I'll obviously try and step that up as much as I possibly can. But I wanted to come up with an idea that was different to what everyone else was doing. So I thought back to my time when I was on a cruise ship, and I can't remember how the idea came to me, but I just thought about that time. And I remember, when you're on a cruise ship, the night before you get this little letter under the door, and it comes through, and it'll have the schedule of what's happening on the next day. So there's activities for everyone on a cruise ship, for all different types of people, elderly people who are keen on fitness and health, kids, all that type of stuff. And there'll just be an awesome schedule, all these different activities every single day. So I thought, well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this online. I'm going to do this for people because they're going to be sitting at home, twiddling their thumbs, trying to look for things to do.
Opening the fridge, and see what else is in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I just started brainstorming some ideas and reaching out to a whole bunch of people. And so far, it's really starting to build some momentum, which is really cool. And it's just been, it's been really rewarding because, I decided to take a bit of a punt. I had to be creative. I had to forward think and be proactive about, what I was going to do and just come up with ideas that, I guess haven't really been done or seen before. So, I think everyone has the opportunity to do that. And, it doesn't matter what they're doing, what sort of jobs they've got. Everyone has the ability to use their mind and not be afraid to, come up with ideas. Some of them might not work, and that's fine. At least you tried, but start thinking of some things. I reached out to a good friend of mine a few days ago, and she looks after properties and things. And, she was really trying to struggle to think of ideas and how she was even going to get through this period of time with tourism down and all her rooms being emptied. And I said, well, what I want you to do, you've got till 5 p.m. the next day to get me a list of 10 things, and they can be the most outrageous things that you could ever think of that you would absolutely think would not work absolutely at all. And in doing so, what you're going to do is start thinking outside the box, and you're going to come up with ideas that potentially could lead into something else. Like that particular idea might not work really well, but if you bend that rule or you bend that little aspect of it, or you just fine tune this little thing and turn it into this, like you're starting to think outside the box, you're starting to be creative.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere,
it's
you're
a
just
warm
going to
up.
come up with ideas.
Yeah. It's a warm up. You're getting those muscles warm, and it could be a step to something else.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's when I start writing and I'm trying to write something, a new article. Usually the first half of the first page is just writing, I don't know what to write right now, but I'm going to write something. It's going to be an article. My brain is fucking tired. Why am I doing this? I'll come up with something. And I write that until I just kind of work out the cobwebs. And it reminds me of like the first 3 minutes of a run. I'm walking. There's that 15-minute warm up. I'm walking, and then I'm kind of shaking it out. I'm doing a few butt kickers, and then I'm getting loose. And then by the time I've warmed up for 15 minutes, then I'm ready to go. But I'm not jumping right into it. I'm not striking gold that very first idea. It's going to take a few swings.
Yeah, that's gold. That's awesome. It's perfect.
Yeah. So I think we covered a lot today. This is fun. I love doing this, and it's cool. It's so fitting and perfect to have you as our first video guest on this podcast. And I think everyone's going to be excited.
Could have chosen a nicer mug though, really.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you got the colors down. You got the Kobe jersey at first. We got the Iron Man stuff going on. I don't know what's happening with my lighting situation, but I look less pale than usual, so that's good. But it's fun times, and it's really cool. I think about how cool it is that we can talk where we have basically a signal going from California up to space down in Australia, and we're able to have this conversation, So
It's
for
nuts.
everybody, I know it's crazy. It is crazy. I don't even understand how it works. I just know that it does. But everybody who's worried about having to stay home, I remember so many days at work just being like, man, I wish I could stay home all day today and do nothing or relax or do like work on my creative projects. Guess what? Now's the time. We have it. It is right here. We got it.
That's it. And I think what's important too is people might look at the likes of us and see that we're joking around and smiling and laughing and all this type of stuff. And there's obviously a lot of people going through a really challenging time at the moment, and it's not in any way sort of disrespecting what's going on or feeling like it's all just a bit of a joke and it's all nothing. Like it's not that at all. It's about trying to stay positive and trying to keep moving forward and trying to inspire these listeners and watchers and anyone who follows us and anyone we come across every single day to do the same, to stay positive, because the more positive that we stay, the closer that we're going to get to this finish line, and the quicker we're going to get to this finish line. And when we get to the finish line, we want to be feeling good. We don't want to be having to pick up the pieces, whether it's business wise and mentally and all that type of stuff. So I guess that big mental factor, it's really important to look after your mindset and your mental health through this period of time, and this is just a way that we can do that. It's just something that everyone
It's huge. It's so huge. And I like what you say. You're right. It's easy to be positive when things are going great, and it's easy to do that stuff when it's easy. But when the mind or the heart are not feeling the best, this stuff's hard to do. And I can definitely, we can both relate to that, but I can relate to having to really decide, okay, this is hurting. I'm hurting. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling grief. I'm feeling angry, whatever it is, just out of sorts. How much time do I want to invest? I want to sit here and acknowledge that I'm having these feelings. I'm not trying to deny it and do, some fake positivity, but how much time do I want to allow this to be here? And even if it's here, what steps am I willing to take that are in line with my values? What steps am I willing to take to, attend to myself and put myself in a better spot? And sometimes I'm not going to get as high, but sometimes it's just about, just like when I got a pulled muscle, I go to my massage therapist, or I go to the appropriate people and take the steps to work it out. And it doesn't feel good at first, but I know what to do to take care of myself. And I think most of us know the steps to do. It's just our willingness to do it.
Yeah. And it all comes back to setting that intention at the start of the day.
Dude, I love it, man. I love it. Well, cool. You got any words of wisdom to send us out with?
Oh, look, one of the things that I spoke to my team about at the very start of the year, actually, and it was in regards to a training session that I went out. So I went out on this training ride, right? And I got a fair way from my parents' house where I was sort of hanging out at the time. And I got this massive puncture in my tire. And I tried to put another tube in there, but the hole was that big. It just, the tube was hanging out of the tire because it was just such a massive blow. And I was stranded. Like, I was well away from home and didn't have any signal out where I was, so I couldn't call anyone. So I had to be creative, and I had to find a way to get home from that point. I had to find a way to fix that bike so I could get back to my parents' house. So luckily for me, unfortunately I didn't have $100 note, because that would have gone straight in there. But unfortunately I did have a little packet. So from the Cliff Blocks, I just smacked a couple of those in my mouth and threw a couple more out and folded up this packet and sort of stuck it in there nicely. And luckily for me, it managed to patch the tire enough for me to get home. And I guess the moral of the story is, when I talked about this later, I used this for my team, and the whole key point was, no matter what happens this year, find a way. Don't find excuses. Don't find a way out. Find a way to move forward. Find a way to do these things. Find a way to build your business back up. Find a way to keep your training going. Don't give in so easily. Just find a way. And that would be my key message to every single person out there.
I love it. Those are the most satisfying times too, when you face adversity and overcome it and you put yourself through it, I'm thinking of the times that I remember the most. And some of them are happy, easy times, but a lot of them are the triumphs and the struggle through adversity and challenging situations of really like forcing to be present. I mean, those are the most visceral memories I have. And for me, it's going through boot camp. I mean, going through some big races, the times I had with my friends in combat. So all these times are so important because of the struggle, because of the adversity. And it feels pretty cool when you come out on top of those too.
Oh, definitely. Like, if you know, I'm sure many people out there will be exactly the same as me in saying that probably the most proudest moments of my life have been those times where I've, you know, managed to overcome whatever challenge that I've been through, no matter how deep they were. And, you know, we're all in this together. We're all going through exactly the same thing, and we're all going to come out of this on the other end. We don't know when that end is, but as I said before, like, you know, the most important thing is during this stressful period, we don't want to be seeing this. And this is all we usually see, you know, if we're really stressed. So what we really need to do is open up our perspective, open up our eyes, open up our minds and our hearts, and find ways to get through it. And everyone will, and some people will find it easier than others. And those that find it harder, you know, put your hand up and ask for help and get support off people. Talk to a friend.
Yeah.
As you said, you know, we have a beautiful thing in this world, and that is the internet, and the ability to connect like this and set up group meetings on, you know, things like Zoom and some of those platforms where you can get, you know, 3 or 4 different people from anywhere in the world. And you can all be just chatting and talking about, you know, how you're traveling and what, you know, what you're doing to get through it. And it might help out some of your friends or your family out there.
Perfect. And I'll link to a couple things for everyone in the description of this. And one of those will be just a breathing exercise that helps you step back and get out of the tunnel vision and be able to start noticing the other things that are happening too. So anyways, Nick, thank you for taking the time being here on Age Groupies, and thank you for taking the time and sharing the wisdom and just the things you're doing that are working that we can all incorporate in our lives. So appreciate it, man. And I'll talk to you soon.
No worries. Thanks, Mike.
Alrighty, that concludes today's episode of the Age Groupies Podcast with me, Lindsay Hiken, and my co-host, Mike Ergo. We really hope you enjoyed it. You can follow the show on Instagram at Age Groupies, join our Age Groupies page on Facebook, and look us up by name, Lindsay Hiken and Mike Ergo on Strava. If you have questions, comments, or topic ideas, feel free to email us at agegroupies@gmail.com. If you enjoy the show, please leave a rating and review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast, as this really helps us get more exposure while we try to grow this little venture. And of course, if you have friends you think might like the show, please be sure to share it with them. But for now, thanks for listening, and we will talk to you next week.